Welcome back. I'm so glad you've tuned in today for this reading. What are we talking about? I'm Alma. I just need to let you know that I have set the intention that this will reach the right people at the right time. And it is a timeless reading. So this is a reading for your greatest good and for the collective. So basically, what we're talking about today is the fact that we're stepping into the collective consciousness together. And we're going to take a look at how we're hurting, how we can heal, and where we're heading to next. So the title of this reading is going to be Heaven on Earth, because connecting to heaven or your heart is the path to heaven on earth. To manifest heaven on earth, what you need to be is sovereign. So in control as one with your heart and soul, and able to access that heart and soul whenever you need to. The more you connect to your energy or your heart energy, the more of heaven and earth you can create. And now, at this time, is the time to do it. So basically, why is it now? Why is the time to balance your energy by connecting with your heart? And the answer to that is because you are one of the souls who is meant to open to the collective consciousness. Yep, that's right. You're a sovereign soul and you are meant to live in balance with your energy. You will find what is coming much easier to navigate when you do so. So you will be able to connect to the heart energy for guidance in what is going to be some very confusing times to come, with a lot of confusing messages that are meant basically to confuse and control. The way to guidance through what is coming and what has already started at the time that I'm putting this out there is through your connection with your higher self, your intuition and your heart and your inner knowing. And to make your intuition stronger, you basically need to move it like a muscle. You've got to use it. So you've got to access it on a regular basis to gain that strength. So basically bringing us into the spread that I've put for you today, the first thing you need to know is the wound. So what is hurting? What do we need to heal? In the heart of your healing journey, the card reveals the devil. So in one leap, I want you to know that you can be free. You might be feeling a lot of control issues. You might feel enslaved. I want you to know it's your perception. So it's basically born from obligation, guilt, or fear. You can walk away. You can honestly walk away from it. There are a lot of us dealing with some serious control issues or just feeling completely trapped or enslaved by our situations, boxed in and obligated. But this confinement is a perception that is born out of the obligation, guilt, or fear. It's a reaction. You aren't actually stuck. In one single leap, you can be free and you can walk away from the things that are weighing you down. The guidance, how can I support healing? How can I nourish myself through this time is the next step. And to support the recovery, my apologies, my words are not wording. This card guides you to the wheel of fortune. I turn for the better. So change for the better, blocks dissolving quickly, events moving on, and being open to a positive change. It brings good news that things are turning for the better. This is a positive change, and it means for you that these blocks are going to dissolve quickly and events will move on. And you basically need to nourish yourself. You need to stay open to the positive shift and connect to your heart to be able to receive that wheel that turn for the better. For grounding, what makes you feel safe and secure as you go through the healing? How can you remain grounded and stable during the recovery through this time? To feel stable and safe through this time, the card that we have pulled here is the moon. Basically, it's asking, what do you want? What difficult choice, listen to your inner voice. Don't give in to pressure. Intuition lights the way more than reason. This is here to tell us that our intuition is the anchor. When you are faced with a difficult choice, don't give in to pressure. Don't feel frustrated. Don't feel like you have to do it quickly or decide quickly. Instead, take the time to ask yourself, what do you want? Listen to your inner voice, your inner knowing, your intuition lights the way more than reason. The next card is intuition. What is something that gives you hope? What is something that inspires faith, confidence, and gives you the will or confidence to keep going? To keep spirit alive, this card brings the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a timely departure, often a quiet leaving. So saying there really is nothing more to say or resolve. It means I'm done. This represents a timely, quiet departure. It can sometimes mean travel. It may predict that you're going to travel to get away from this problem. It gives you basically the will to keep going by showing us it's okay to leave behind what's no longer serving us. I recently went through a very strong lesson with the Eight of Cups, leaving behind a job that did not serve me in any way, shape, or form. So let me look at the blessing. This is the good news. So what is something I have right now that is a blessing? What aids me in these moments? So for this one, we pulled the Judgment. There's always a second chance. Reviewing the past, deciding if it's worth reconsidering, a spiritual wake-up call, a strong relationship with your guides. It aids us by reminding us that there is always a second chance. It is a spiritual wake-up call to review the past, decide if it's worth reconsidering, and build a stronger relationship. So a spiritual wake-up. This is your spiritual wake-up call. In this message, I am going to help you to identify the way that you can connect with your heart if you don't already know how. I'm going to help you make it easier. Now, the next card we have in this spread is a 6-card spread called the Star, and this one is a wish. What is my fondest desire? What do I dream of? What do I aspire to? Your deepest aspiration, is illuminated by the Three of Wands. Time for new experiences, travel, creative projects, educational courses, any pursuit broadening horizons. Be inspired. We are dreaming of new experiences and pursuits broadening your horizons even. Whether that means travel, creative projects, or educational courses, or just wanting to be inspired. To tie this whole journey together, we look at the Oracle guidance. So this one is from the Angel Abundance cards. And the guidance was exercise to increase your energy and manifestation abilities. This is going to be important. It doesn't have to be running when you're not a runner. It's literally just moving your body in some way, shape, or form with intention. So choose a fun and meaningful activity so you look forward to exercising, and that in turn becomes its own reward. This also works for your intuition. So physical movement raises your vibration, amplifies your manifestation ability. Exercise allows messages and guidance from heaven to flow through. If you don't like the word heaven, use the word your heart. The Oracle card amplifies and clarifies the messages from the spread for the tarot, offering additional divine guidance to the situation. So remember that these cards are mirrors for your own wisdom. Trust your intuition as you work with these messages. So when the collective consciousness reaches a certain percentage of people that are awake to the consciousness, this in turn will speed in which souls will awaken and increase. So it will increase the speed of the consciousness, the collective consciousness awakening, like a domino effect. You'll in turn teach the next soul in whatever way that manifests. It can literally be by being in the same room. I've experienced this myself, being able to be in the same room with someone and then watching an awakening. There will be a wave of souls opening up their heart energy to create heaven on earth, and this is what we all deserve. So it is also what the earth deserves. That's why it's so important. This brings me to how do we connect to the heart and meditate? When perhaps the traditional idea of meditation, we all know, doesn't come naturally. It doesn't come naturally for me either. Okay, so here's how you find, if you find meditation difficult, when there's no chance you're doing the ohms and sitting with your legs crossed, doing the things, you can still connect to your higher self and your heart energy. It's pretty simple, and I gotta say, you probably already do it in some way, shape or form, and you might not even realize it. Or you might realize it, but have never really thought about it. If you're watching the screen or you're viewing this is one of my house. If you're watching the screen right now, what you're seeing is one of my aquariums. This is literally one of my heavens on earth. We all have them in different ways. You wouldn't survive what we go through on earth without some kind of escape to the heart. I personally create and tend to my aquariums and the little lives that live in them. This act in itself brings a connection to nature for me. Without trying, I immediately connect to the heart, and this is a form of meditation. So I'm not a person who can sit in Om, as I said. I cannot clear my hyperactive mind from things very often. And unless I can go into a conscious trance via art, the act of planning artwork, building digital imagery, or working on my aquariums or music or drawing or any design really, I have always been able to build an image in my mind. To do this, I found I can instantly access another place, a place where I can find inspiration. So I have an unusual brain. I can build 3D images in my mind with ease. I can hold them in my thought, and I can change design aspects like colors, shapes, and contrasts. I can see what looks good to me and what works. I can use physics in a functional, movement, dynamic way in my brain to work things in a way that I don't logically understand. It just happens. And before putting any pencil to paper, so to speak, I already know what direction I want to go in intuitively. I know what feels right, and I know what looks right, and I can adjust it when I like. I can hold it there, and whenever I want to, I can bring that back into the front of my mind. Well, the frustrating part is for me is that I have to then build it in a world of manual tasks. And none of that comes as easily as creating it in my mind. And so I am limited by the technology of the world, of the lack of actual time I seem to have to indulge my creations. So the act of physically creating artwork also is a trance. It's second nature to me, and I do not stop to think about it much. I just go. Because of that, I often ignore the world and the things like drinking, sleeping, eating, and this is obviously going a little bit too far, and I don't want you to think that that's a good way to be. You need to remember to drink water. I'm very grateful for these gifts. So I'm aware that not everybody can do this. And as much as I'm aware that there are things in the world and people that I am very jealous of at times that can do things with ease that I cannot. Mathematics would be one of those things. I cannot do them with ease. And so everybody has something. Everybody's got something. It can be gardening, which, planted aquarium is technically gardening, except that I don't forget to water the plants. And we're all different. By design, this is a good thing. It leads me back to the collective consciousness thought and how heaven on earth is created. And it is created by these differences that we all have coming together to create unity with their individual gifts. So everybody comes together, works together with their individual gifts to create unity. And that's heaven on earth. Doesn't that sound wonderful? And so it's my honor to assist in connecting you to your gift, to shine a light on it. Literally, I'm seeing the sun in my brain, the tarot card, the sun. You have these gifts, you already do them. I guarantee you, trust me, you do them. You may even be aware that you are connecting to your heart and your higher self when you are doing them, and that you might be aware that this is what you're actually doing. And I am here, as I've just said, to shine a light and let you know that you need to do this with intention now. It's the time. There are many different ways to do this. If you are not sure, have a think. What hobby do you have that you love? Or what thing do you do that comes naturally, where you feel at ease, a sense of balance, or just in the zone? What is a place where you leave the thinking mind behind, or should I say the overthinking mind in my case? What's a place where you can connect to the inspiration, the heart, and your balance? A place that grounds you, even if it's a place in your mind. What is it that you do to ground yourself? Where do you lose time? Think about it. When do you feel the connection to your sovereign self, to all of your heart? This is your heaven on earth in the 3D. And the more you do this, the more you bring that manifestation to earth, the more your people will come to you, and the more you can work in unity to make heaven earth and earth heaven, to make them the one thing. I just have to share also another thing that, another tool I came across about 6 months ago in my healing journey. And I know I'm probably going to pronounce this terribly, and I will feel bad about it, especially considering part of my family is Polynesian. Another tool we can use is Ho'onoponopono. It's a Hawaiian practice, sorry if I said that wrong, of reconciliation and forgiveness. Its purpose is to clear out negative memories, to clear that energy, release emotional burdens, restore balance within yourself or with others. Interesting. This works by repeating the phrases either out loud or quietly to yourself in your mind. And this is important with intention and belief, with that heart energy. This works by taking full responsibility, making peace with the past. You're taking responsibility, I might add, automatically. Making peace with the past and centering yourself in love, and most importantly, gratitude. That's the key, that's the golden key that opens all the doors, gratitude. When I say taking responsibility, I understand there may be some friction with this idea. Where there is hurt, there is friction. as you may very well understandably feel that, and this is, like I said, understandable, that the events of your life where others have harmed you are not yours to take responsibility or ownership for. You might feel that. However, for an example, as an innocent child, I myself was beaten within an inch of my life by a parent that has a severe mental illness. Now, this is a pill that is hard to swallow when you think about taking responsibility energetically for the hurt from this experience. It was a hard pill for me to swallow for a long time as an innocent child. I understand, trust me, I understand. At the age of 17, I finally left home. The safe way, not the way that I would dream about, just running away in the night. I stopped communication with my parents for 2 years after that, and at 19, I realized in a very intuitive way, just like a download, that the only way I could grow as a soul was to forgive. And on that day, I went out and bought a card. I wrote on the card and I posted it to that parent with a simple sentence. I forgive you. As a much older and more seasoned, mature adult, I realized that I planned this life and these frictions, that this is the agreement I made before I came here. And that was the agreement my parents made with me before they come to live their lives here as well. To cause this friction so I can grow. And in turn, they can also grow. Unity. The soul that I am is the kind that is a bridge. I move through the difficult, I transmute the energy, and I deliver it as understanding to others. I also change archetypes, and I have many times in this life, so I can learn from others and teach, and at the same time, I can heal. I am literally a healer. That is my job. Of my many jobs. I am also a source of difference, a disruptor. My energy is different. It is confusing and sometimes makes people afraid. To look at me, you would not be afraid. But if you feel sometimes in life something different sometimes makes people afraid. So also, I'm a mirror. I do without conscious intention, sometimes with intention, and without any difficulty, I might add, it just happens, bring forward the shadow of others that they need to see, and they aim it straight at me. And this, in a way, is what that parent was doing. This is my life on this swing. This is what I have to do. And I'm grateful for it. I've come to terms with it, and I'm grateful because I get to be the person that helps you. I get to help you. And you might be getting a little emotional. You might be that one person that helps. That one beautiful person that helps the entire world. How wonderful would that be? And for the maybe even just one person who hears this and is helped by this, it is all of it very worth it. So the phrases that you can repeat to yourself, there are 4. I do them in this order because it makes sense to me. They are. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. How simple is that? You can do it whenever you want. Whenever you feel something's up with your energy, whenever you feel friction, whenever you feel lonely or sad, it's just a reset. Just know it will reset. It's so powerful. Trust in your inner wisdom. The wheel is turning, and you and I are ready to move forward. Thanks for listening.